Haha! Salut! Welcome back to the Stormcast. Thank you to everyone who's just joining, to everyone who's new, who this is their first time and coming to experience Folu or her Stormcast. Thank you. I appreciate it. I know you could be doing other things with your time. There are other things you could be watching or listening to, but you took your time out to come and watch and listen to me. And I appreciate that. To be honest, it's a good time, I feel, here. It's a great time. So welcome. And I say this because I know that recently I've been doing a lot. It's been a little bit hectic, so I've missed out on previous episodes of the Stormcast. I'm so sorry. I know I should have put up last week and honestly earlier this week, but we are where we are and it is what it is. Thank you so much for being patient with me. I told you another one was going to come and here it is. It's here. And I have to gist you because a lot has been happening since the last time I jumped on here. Red Circle, the film I'm in, has premiered. I believe I spoke about the premiere and what it was like, and it was cool and blah blah. And if I didn't, it was cool. It was so dope. It was so nice seeing so many people come together, so much press. Everyone who'd worked on the film, or as many people as who'd worked on the film as could show up on the premiere day. It was lovely, and it happened at the Muson Center in Lagos, and it was really nice. I really had a good time. As in true Red Circle fashion, lots of content, lots of promo stuff, and that happened, right? Then once the film came out, started doing tours, started doing promotion, went to different cinemas in Lagos, went to Abuja, different cinemas in Abuja. I hit up Ibadan as well. And then there was the UK premiere, which also just happened recently, and I have to talk about that as well. It was a phenomenal experience, just meeting new fans and people who just genuinely loved the film after watching it. They came out for one reason, stayed for another. It was super great. There were stressful moments as well. I know that when it comes to actors and the life that is performance, there is the assumption that everything is rosy and everything is glitz and glam and like we're just chilling. It couldn't be further from the truth. I'll talk about that a little bit. I am also going to talk about a new production I've started. Started a new film, which I'm also very excited about. I'm excited about the story. I like the way it's written. I like the cast members that we're in with. And the quality of the team producing this one is super, super cool. So I'm really looking forward to gracing the big screens again very soon. And there is another film that I shot last year that has just come out. It's just about to come out in cinemas again from the 1st of August. So keep your eyes out, keep your ears peeled. I will let you know it's coming out. That's really cool. So that's Dead Tide, just announced it. So a lot has been going on. But I do want to talk about some of the lessons that I've learned in the roller coaster of production. There is the constant need for patience. And and to be honest, this need for patience is not just when you're in the film industry, it's in general. Life is going to test you. Life is going to throw some tough situations at you. Life is going to life. And one has to remember to be patient with oneself. You have to remember to be patient with the people you're dealing with. Not foolish. Patience is not stupidity. Patience is not, okay, let me just ignore you. You're not ignoring. Bid your time or bide your time. Think about the kind of reaction you want. Think about the consequences of reaction. Think about what you want out of the situation. And that's where patience really comes into the chat. It's patience on multiple fronts. Because you're thinking the long game, right? It's like a critical thinking in real life situation. Yeah, so we're going to talk about that. I'm also going to talk about how apparently I'm preachy. I have big sister energy, it seems, which is crazy to me, but so welcome to the Stormcast. Thank you. I am recording. So first things first, let's talk about the Red Circle UK tour. Oh my gosh. Okay, what is amazing is that we did a London premiere. Many people don't do that. We did that. That was phenomenal. We did do screenings in Milton Keynes, in Manchester, and we have Red Circle that's still showing in cinemas from now till July, or beginning of July, and it's showing in cinemas in Birmingham, in Milton Keynes, in London Greenwich, in London Streatham, and Yeah, I think that's it, right? So Milton Keynes, London, Birmingham, Manchester. Very, very cool stuff. So dope. We knew for a while that we wanted to premiere in the UK. That was a conversation that was coming. It was coming, but you know when you're like, something's coming, okay, when it comes, we'll see when it comes. So it showed up, and the moment showed up in a rush. I feel like so many things happened before we got to the UK already. We premiered officially in Nigeria. Great reviews, great release. Every single person that's gone in to see it, from the pre-release viewings to the actual premiere, I have been humbled, elated, just honestly delighted with the response. I'm so glad that so many people have such a great experience of the story, and that the performances were so spot on that it really draws anybody in that goes to watch Red Circle. So if you haven't seen Red Circle, go to cinemas. It is still showing in cinemas across Nigeria. Go and watch Red Circle. Like, don't be told about it. Go watch it. It's important for so many reasons. One, to keep the cinema culture alive. Two, because it's a really good film and you will be entertained. Three, because it helps us, the people who made this film. The Nigerian film industry is still a very much an independent film industry in a lot of ways, and we rely on you, the public, who watch the film, to basically vote with your money, to say like, yeah, you like this with your money. It is really hard to sustain certain quality films, and it's hard to sustain quality if the general public doesn't appear to be interested in quality. And I know for the people who listen to my podcast, so thank you to all those who are listening on audio, and for those who are watching on YouTube, I know that so many of you are very particular about the quality of what you watch. Like, you like Nigerian films, you like good films in general, regardless of what geography those films are coming out of. So to make sure that we have our African brothers and sisters and Nigerian brothers and sisters are able to continue making really good quality films like Red Circle, when they do show up in cinemas wherever you are, please go watch. For those of you who are in the UK, if you didn't know, Red Circle is still showing in a few select Odeon cinemas across the United Kingdom. In London, in Manchester, in Milton Keynes, and in Birmingham. So it would mean the world to me if you just went to the Odeon website, just look up Red Circle, and it will show you where it is available, and see if you can pop in. Go with your circle, go with your gang. Also, it's a good date idea for those of you who've already seen it. Take your babe, take your guy, let it be, practice your surprise looks. But to be honest, you'll be surprised, because there's so many details. There's details in the colors, there's details in the music. There's just a lot of good details. So go check that out. Anyways, let me tell you about this Red Circle UK thing. So I'm a little bit of a London girl, innit? Like, okay, no, maybe not a London girl, but I do, UK is also home to me. And I do love certain things about London. I don't like the weather so much, but I do like the culture. I like that it's a melting pot of people. I like the accessibility. There are a lot of really cool things about it. So hearing that we were going to be premiering in a place that I call home, I was like, yeah, dope. Come on, let's go. Let's get it. I was traveling with Nora, who is the producer of the film Red Circle, as well as Omomi Dada, who plays my best friend, Venita, the baby bestie. And then also Micah Folari, who plays Gidigbo in the film. And both Omomi and Mike are, first of all, not just phenomenal actors and brilliant at their craft, but they're also really sound people. So traveling with them was its own adventure, which I absolutely love. I feel like I learned so much from them on this trip as well. So yeah, that was super cool. And Nora as well. I mean, I've traveled with Nora when we're going to Abuja, and we did the Abuja screenings for Red Circle as well. I did get to meet a lot of people. Also, great, like, big shout out to the Abuja crowd. The Abuja crowd are fantastic, guys. Like, they're super cool, especially considering the number of issues we had in Abuja. The number of issues in Abuja, guys. The light in the biggest mall went out. The power went out for hours. I don't know if I spoke about this already, but the trauma is reoccurring. For hours the lights went out, but some of these guys, they stayed, they trooped. They're like, no, we came to see this film, we're gonna see it. And I love and respect you guys for that. Thank you so much. So there were a couple of hitches in Abuja. It was quite tiring. There was a hotel I stayed in that low-key caught fire overnight. Yeah, you think I'm playing with you? Randomly overnight. I can share this story now because the time is done and we've moved from the hotel, but randomly in the middle of the night, why do I hear a knock on my door? And I panic because I know I'm jumping around, guys. You have to bear with me, the story. I'll come back to the UK, but Abuja, drama, hotel fire, big thing. there I was peacefully sleeping after a very long day. Lots of things had kind of gone wrong, but Nora and I had soldiered through it. Red circle soldiers, let's go. Finally get to bed after midnight. Next thing I know, or it feels like next thing I know, I hear knocking at my door. So I panic because as a woman who travels, I'm very sensitive to, could someone be trying to break into the door? What's happening? Can you call? So you just wait, like you freeze. What's that sound? Who be that? What's happening? And the next thing I know, I see my phone is ringing and it's Nora. And Nora calls me and she says, yo, Folu, I don't know what's happening. There's lots of shouting. It smells like there's smoke or there's a fire. So we need to go outside. I'll meet you outside. I did try clean sleep from my eye. I was like, what? I'm not really, you say what? I say less, but for me, I think I'm pretty calm. Clearly, I'm pretty calm in the crisis situation because I just go, okay, see you in a bit. Hung up. I was like, all right, you need to put on clothes. You need to put on shoes. A friend had loaned me a car. So I was like, you better take the car keys, take some money and get out. I didn't take anything else because I didn't want to start the process of thinking, what do I need to pack? What do I need to take? Once I started waking up, I realized that, I can smell smoke in my room. Like, I can smell smoke in my room. Then as soon as I opened the hallway, I was like, it's smoky. And I said that something is burning. I don't even know what it is. And the worst part of all of this is it also clocked to me. There was no fire alarm. There was no fire alarm in a building that to all intents and purposes was on fire. I'm just going to say that Nigeria is wild. Because how do you have a hotel of kind of the standard? I mean, it seemed like a pretty nice hotel, when we got there, like boutique, but nice. No fire warning system whatsoever. Now, I didn't really hear the shouting, but I did, as I came down one floor, I heard like very loud whispers and I realized, oh, you're not even trying to wake people up. That's his own, guys, that's his own. How can you not be trying to not wake people up when clearly there is a real need to wake people up, just in case you are unable to contain this issue? I mean, am I making sense? Do you understand what I'm saying to you right now? And there I come outside and I see my producer sitting by the security house, just calmly waiting. I said, no problem. I brought the car key with myself. Anyways, that was kind of resolved, sort of. We had one more night to stay in that hotel. I did briefly think about how we could move to another one, but we decided to risk it one more night. Hopefully my parents don't see this video. It's fine. Or my family members, to be honest. They'll be fine. And it reminded me of the less than glamorous side sometimes of traveling. Yeah. So there was that. Anyways, going back to London. So London sorted, we're like, let's get into London town. Let's do this thing. We fly in the day before. I think it was the day before. Yes, the day before the premiere is when we get into town. So we have that whole day and we get in super early in the morning. So we touch down about 6:30 or so. So let's say by 9-10 a.m. we're in London proper because we've got picked up from the airport. The accommodation that we were staying was not ready yet. Our check-in time was a bit late. It was like 3 p.m. or so, even though we did try to get early check-in, and it sucks when you can't get early check-in because there are people there from the night before, but it's okay. We found somewhere to stay. We hung out for a bit and that was such a cool vibe. Just kind of chilling with this lovely lady, Bookie Glam House. Big shout out to Bookie Glam House. She's a phenomenal designer and she also has a few Airbnbs. She also has an Airbnb for rent. If you're ever interested, let me know. I'll hook you up with Bookie Glam House. I think she's super dope. And she does such a solid. She was so lovely and welcoming and polite. And just helpful because what I didn't tell you is because it had been so hectic, I started my new production just before I flew off. I had been doing the tours already for Red Circle just before this happened, and I had not yet confirmed when my flights were, which meant that I could not now confirm to my designers of choice, my first designers of choice for the outfit that we planned for my red carpet premiere in the UK. We planned this outfit like 2 months ago, but there were adjustments that needed to be made to the outfit, and because all the information came through last minute, everyone was busy, hectic. by the time I reached out to them, like, they were closed. And they're like, shit, Folu, we didn't know. If we'd known, we would have sort of, you know, like, the thing is, everyone's been working so hard. They've gone on a break. Let's see what we can do. Let's see. Is someone coming after? Maybe we can fly. I said, don't worry. Don't, like, I'm a figure it out. So that's how I went to the London with no red carpet premiere outfit. And I just thought, okay, I'm going to get to Selfridges and I will go to their rental space, or I will go and buy something and I'll figure it out. It's London, right? There will be something for me to wear. She moves in faith, for we walk by faith and not by sides. And so when we get there, and I'm telling everyone, okay, guys, I'm going to have to leave you. I have to head into town because I have to figure out what's going to happen. Once we get into Bookie's house, she's like, oh, yeah, I'm a designer as well. I'm a fashion designer. I said, what? And then I saw this gorgeous dress she had. I said, girl, what? Okay, let's talk, because clearly you are the person that's going to provide my outfits. Let's figure out how it's going to work. And true, she had something super cute. And you guys saw the red carpet outfit. And if you didn't, here it is again. And it was so cute. And I was so thankful to her because she hooked it up. She styled it. It was great. So that was really, really cool. So on day one, I pretty much got the core of the outfit. Then I had to go like figure out accessories or whatever. So that happened. Day two is when we were doing the London premiere, and that was an actual premiere. Getting ready, just sort of hanging out in the house, like figuring things. London is so much bigger than one thinks London is. You think, oh, I'll just pop out here. There's no popping out. It's going to take you an hour to reach anywhere. Like, and whether it's by Uber or public transport, like, you're going to commit time to the process, and you will walk. You walk a lot. So before I knew it was time to get ready for the premiere, we get ready. You know, it's a lot of, okay, we have to hurry. We have to do this, crazy. And I had a photographer. Shout out to Michael Tubes. Michael Tubes was working with me that evening. Very lovely, very sweet man, and a great docu photographer. He's taken photographs for a number of really famous people, and he sort of agreed to come take photos of this whole red carpet thing that we were doing, and he popped up and it was lit. We get there, it's a whole dramatic entrance. We pull up to the front, we come out. My brothers came out to watch, which is cool. Two of my brothers came out to watch the premiere. A number of people, and it was a first time experience for me. I've never done that in the UK. I've never done that in London. And just getting to meet the audience before they watched the film, they were already so welcoming and enthusiastic. So after the film was done, they were buzzing. The whole hall was buzzing. And again, I'm so grateful and thankful to every single person that came out and purchased tickets, because people actually purchased tickets. We sold out our screen in London, so much so that they opened up a second screen from the premiere, which was fantastic. And a big thank you to everyone. And one of the most gratifying things that was said to me that night was a girl who said, it was so nice to see someone who looked like her and sounded like her, like on a screen. And as annoying as the character was, and Fikayo Holloway is a triggering character, it was just really nice to see someone that she felt like she could really identify with in a Nigerian film in that way. And I was like, it was so emotional, which was dope. And I'm so very happy we had that experience. Then after London, it was Milton Keynes, and it was the next day. It was like, all right, go back. After the premiere, though, we did go out on the town. We did a bit of partying. Trust me, your girl wanted to go straight to bed. I can be a little bit of an oldie fuddy-duddy, but I did go out. I turned up. It was lit. Now, the thing about the premiere, though, that I do have to reference is the amount of patience that it required from me. There were a lot of things that did not go right. There was a lot of information I didn't have on time. There was a lot that was not communicated to us. And life on the road is hard. Life on the road is stressful. You have very little time to rest, very little time to prepare, but you are still expected to look like a star. You're still expected to be glamorous. And that can be quite challenging, especially when you're out of base. So in Lagos, which is where I've been operating from mostly, that I already have a lot of set networks of, you know, help and assistance and, you know, cars and driver and whatever it is to sort it out. In London, everything is kind of solo dolo, and you don't have as much assistance. You don't have as much help. You're taking out so much time to move from point A to point B, so you're not resting as well. And this is bearing in mind, I was just coming off already very hectic movement in Lagos. So you're getting on this trip. The flight we took to London, right, was a night flight. So it's a red-eye flight. So you're on a plane, you don't board until 12 or so. So you really don't take off till after 12 almost 1, so you really don't get to rest and shut down till after 1 a.m. in the morning. And if you're landing at 6, pretty much by 5 a.m. you're being woken up, except on this flight. Some wicked woman woke guys up at 4:30 a.m. I was so confused. Tea, water, juice. What the whoa, man, no. Whoa. Anyway, sure. I'm learning patience. So these are some of the ways in which I have to learn patience. Because like you didn't like, what the why would you do that? Why would you wake people up at 4:30 a.m.? Why? Anyway, there was that. I do think that as we moved on to the screenings in Milton Keynes and in Manchester, fantastic to see again, a great turnout. Thank you so much to everybody that came out and everyone that showed love. I learned also that it's very hard to keep smiling even when you're tired. See this big smile where I'm like, oh yeah. After a while, your cheeks start to wobble. They start to shake and you look crazy. I think some people are going to have pictures where I look upset. Oh, I'm not obsessed with you. Master is not you. Friends, it's not you. I was just exhausted at this point. Like I was really tired. And I've now learned that this is why like superstars, they don't do big wide smiles. You know, they keep it like demure. They do like a Beyonce like. I need to practice that shit. I didn't know I needed to practice it. Now I know I need to practice it. That's my thing. And I feel like if we'd had a little bit more advanced planning, the trip did not need to be quite as hectic as it was. And it was hectic by the time we got to Manchester. Definitely on my last legs. The Manchester screening was pretty late. And I had a flight to catch back to Lagos because I had work. I had to come back to sets immediately. Even now as I talk to you, I had to go back sets. Sharpish. I had a flight to catch, so we all had to leave like really early. So once the screening was done in Manchester and that ended about 11 p.m. at night, it was then time to get in a taxi and head back to London. So we drove 4 hours from Manchester back into London. So we arrived back in London around 4 a.m. And we were catching a flight that morning. So it meant I just packed my bags because I needed to finish packing. And then basically at 7 a.m. got in a taxi to head to the airport and fly back to Lagos. So crazy, hectic, challenging in so many ways. Challenging because also, even though like it's a work trip, there is money that you're spending, and I earn more naira currently than any other currency. And the forex challenge is real, guys. Like, oh my god, changing money into a currency with surname. Pound sterling is it do give heart pain sometimes, small chest burn, heartburn is crazy. So there was that as well. But big shout out to the new production. Red Circle is done. We're back in Lagos. It was a successful showing. People were quite happy. I'm very thankful. I'm very grateful. I see what it's doing. I'm getting into it. I'm learning the social media things. I'm doing more promotion, and that's basically what's been happening on that front. But now I have a new production. We started shooting a film called Aloma. You heard it here first. I'm not even sure if I can say. I think I can say the name of the film. But yeah, we've been shooting for a few days now, which is very cool. And I like that script. I like the story. I like the way it's woven together, and I'm very excited to see it come together and to see it come to life. And big shout out to the team. Oh, wow. Your girl is still a bit tired, but big shout out to the team that's making Aloma. It's a quality team, quality production. Really looking forward to finishing it. There's that. And I'm looking forward to like a proper summer break. I know summer's kind of already started, but I do need like a break, so I'm going to take a summer break. But while we're on the topic of work and all this stuff, with all these things happening, there are a few musings that are important for me to share, to remind myself, and maybe to remind some of you guys out there, dealing with efficiency, boundaries, and your personal value. So, away my leg. Wow. What did I do? I was sitting on that foot for too long. Wow. Well done. F storms. Causing commotion. Anyways, what did I say I want to talk about? Boundaries. Insisting on your value. Personal value, not compromising. This continues to be an area of work for me, and I know for a lot of people. It is very easy to, or not easy, I think maybe people who are compassionate and considerate sometimes blur the lines between being a team player, making things work, and compromising to one's own detriment, and therefore compromising your value or compromising your esteemed value, whatever the case may be. This is one of my weak points. I personally have noticed, and to be honest with you, you know what? I think I'm just entering my villain era. I think this is my villain arc, and I have had so many villain origin stories recently that I'm like, yeah, I am back to cultivating wickedness. I've lost focus, but it's time to refocus. There's still like 27 weeks in the year. I feel like I can really snatch it back and get that wickedness in. And I say this because there are a lot of situations where things are not going right, and if there is something I can do to help out, I will help out. I think that's a great trait to have. I think it is important to be, and it is good to be a willing collaborator, someone with whom a team knows the work is safe because they're going to do their best to get the thing done. It is also important to remember that you are not Jesus. And even Jesus, they killed him. You know what I mean? Like, they killed Christ. So unless God the Father spoke to you and said, you know, it's your turn, I think draw lines, set boundaries, insist on your value, insist on your worth, insist on what's important to you. For me right now, as an adult, I think the thing that's important to all of us is rest. And I also have a new theory that one of the biggest scams of adulthood is the idea that rest is overrated, that sleep is overrated. It's a dangerous narrative of capitalism. Like, oh, you'll sleep when you're dead. Yeah, you'll die faster if you don't sleep. If you see what happens to computers when you don't shut them down for extended periods of time, or any kind of gadget that you don't actually switch off, you don't power down for extended periods of time, you know what happens? Eventually one day they're just off. That's you. Your body is a supercomputer, and if you keep moving stupidly and not resting it and not shutting it down and not powering down and not prioritizing your sleep, which is what the human body is designed to need to be most efficient and functioning and healthy, because you're working, you have this stuff, I'll sleep later. Well, you will kill yourself. Who is calling me? So please be guided. Please be mindful. Rest. With your timing and scheduling, like, just be as efficient as possible. When you have an agreement with whoever it is, especially in the film world, set days really ideally should be 12-hour days. And with one or two exceptions, don't go over that. Like, just don't. That's what I'm gonna say. Don't. With one or two exceptions, just don't go over it. Yeah, just don't feel guilty about establishing your boundaries, being firm on those boundaries. And I know I've spoken about it before, but it keeps coming up, so we're just gonna have to deal with that. Oh gosh, yeah, let's talk about dating. Dating, guys. I continue in this dating journey. I continue educating myself. I continue learning. I continue talking to the boys. The boys are nice to talk to. I like boys. I like men. I think they're great. They're fantastic. They're great buddies. They can be fun partners. I think just life partner challenges at the moment. I'm just insisting on certain standards and certain boundaries for myself, because again, I'm someone who's very giving and I'm very loving, and I feel like if you do find that you're that sort of person, you're an empath, you care, it's very easy for those boundaries to be crossed. So from the beginning, you have to be really selective about the kind of person you let that close to you who could potentially cross those boundaries. Like, you need someone who is kind and who you trust, and who you can build something strong with, and who cares. And you need to be that person as well, because sometimes you're not that person. Sometimes you're really selfish and just into yourself. I know I am. I'm really discovering that I can be really selfish in that regard. And if I am not moved to help, not even help, if I'm not moved to interact or connect with someone on a certain level, then I'm like, no, it's kind of a red flag in general for both parties. Because as much as you want someone who will be loving and doting towards you, you should also be kind of loving and doting towards whoever it is you're going to partner with or date, as the case may be. And if you find that you're unable to give that, I think one should step back. That's what I think. I'm also learning to receive. I'm learning to receive. Listen, I enjoy when I feel safe, when I feel in my femme, and I am learning to embrace my feminine so much more. I enjoy being catered to. I enjoy being pampered. Folu, I care what. I have big goddess energy, therefore I have big praise kink energy, and you can look that up. But I enjoy being worshipped and adored. I'm designed for it. What can I say? I am a very generous goddess when I am worshipped and adored. I love that shit. Anyways, so we're still in that space. I'm learning more about myself and more about the things that are enjoyable and more about other people, more about men. I bought a whole book. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I bought a book that's been very insightful. It's a good audiobook. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. And you should really read that. It's an old one, but it's a goodie. And I think it's pretty spot on. So that's become my new kind of go-to read, so that I can be a better person as well. Because as much as I want to date a better person, and I feel like I'm getting better and better, I also want to be a better person to date. You know what I mean? Like a little c'est comme ci, c'est comme ça. Hello, my dear. Yeah. Anyways, just to round things up, just saying, you know, I have been tending to my garden. The garden's looking nice. I see some bees and birds and whatnot buzzing around, and it really is just a nice innocent garden, but it's doing well. I'm tending to it. It's growing. It's blossoming. There are fruits. Nice things to look at, nice things to eat, all sorts of things in the garden, and that's what's going on. And I hope that you take the time to tend to your own gardens, and that you look after yourself. You remember your inherent value, your inherent worth, and you insist on it. It's important for you, and that you are resting. You don't earn rest, you deserve it. It is your birthright by design. By design. On that note, that's the end of the Stormcast. Thank you so much for joining me. I will be back again regularly with the Stormcast. But thank you guys for growing with me. Thank you for learning with me. Thank you for listening. And it's really just, at this point, it's really just a diary series. There's more coming, but for now, it's me and you. It's you and me. Jump in the comments. Let me know if you've listened this far. Do a little handshake. I like to know that, you know, we go hand in hand. We go together real bad right now. If you listen this far. So do that. Throw a little handshake in there for me. Let me know if you have seen me out and about on the Red Circle Trail. Let me know if you see me anywhere. If you would like to see me anywhere, let me know as well. And yeah, thank you. Have a great rest of your day and week. Bye.